Hello, everyone. Welcome to the JD Theory podcast. Today, we'll be taking a look at this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. But before we get into the episode, holy hell, man, Zack Ryder made it back to WWE. I love everything about it. Hope he got a contract because the moment on SmackDown, it made me incredibly happy. Just a really full circle moment and super deserved. It brought me right back to my childhood in a special way. The nostalgia was crazy. Matt Cardona is the man. Had to put that out there before we began, but now we'll take a look at this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. And at the end of the video, I'll talk a little bit about future plans for the channel. But first, we had a John Cena promo. We start with an awesome recap of last week. Cena then comes out. And I said it before and I'll say it again. These last few dates, they're really pulling at my heart, man. I am going to miss Cena big time. The crowd here, they're extremely loud for Cena. Shout out to New York City for bringing the energy. And, John, he's given a heartfelt speech till Dirty Dom, he decides to show face. Rematch clause ensues. But Dom says he's not going to do it right now. This was a bit of a swerve because we thought it would happen on the spot. But instead, we're going to save it for Survivor Series. And Judgment Day, they would then come out, back up Dom. And while John is getting jumped, Sheamus pops out. What? And then Rey Mysterio comes out. And they made the match on the spot. Right? So... This was, like last week, super surprising start to the show. Did not see this coming in a million years. Also, Sheamus. Why Sheamus? But also, thank you for being Sheamus, because he's a great performer. So yeah, our first match on the card, we get the Judgment Day versus John Cena, Sheamus, and Rey Mysterio. Now, I'm still in shock that this is even happening right now. And, last week and this week, we've started off electric. Rey being back in ring, it's great. His interactions with Dom, they always hit. Also, Finn gives Rey a brutal slide out of the ring. And every time Finn goes, "Oh yeah," I just laugh, bro. He is so funny. And then we get Joe Tessitore. He says, "How's the munions, JD?" And Wade Barrett says, "You enjoyed that a little too much, Joe Tess." I can't, man. Wade Barrett is so funny. Please keep him on commentary for as long as he wants to do it. And yeah, when John Cena gets in the match, it's to a massive pop. Also, the whole commentary thing is from Rey Mysterio hit a great double move on J.D. McDonough, and I forget who else was in at that point. Just woke up. Memory's a little hazy. But it was great. There was big spots. And then we get this awesome triple attack by the Judgment Day onto Cena, followed by a triple pin with a double break from Rey and Sheamus. And in this sequence, Finn even hits the coup de grace, which is a very protected move. So, yeah. But this match, after this, it would turn into... Excuse me. Jesus. After this match, it would turn into a very... legendary, iconic. What's the word I'm looking for? Crowd-pleasing? Fan service moment, right? The rest of the match is for the fans, man, because we get the 10 beats of the Bodhrán. Whole squad was doing it. It was a great moment. And everything that followed was just as amazing. And just what a great match, man. Thank you, Cena. Everybody lands their finisher. There's a great sequence with the double 619 and John and Sheamus both laying their moves. And, an AA... he uses on McDonough. The whole sequence, man, it was just beautiful. Even down to the walkout, this was perfect. Yeah. Man, Can you believe it? We're going to see John Cena 2 more times, and that's it, dude. That sucks. That's rough. It's hitting, man. It's hitting. Backstage, we get to Aldis and Pierce. They're upset about McIntyre. Paul Heyman comes in, defends Drew, and he says, look, if you think that was bad, wait till you see the 5th member. Which, in the back of my head, I had a feeling. I had a feeling it'd be Brock Lesnar. It was Brock Lesnar, but we'll get to that later in the night. Also, for whatever reason, Andrew Schultz and some New York athletes, they beef with the Judgment Day on the side of the ring. If this is a celebrity beef in the making, I don't want to see this one. Personal opinion, I don't think Andrew Schultz is very funny. But yeah. We then get a Nikki Bella promo, which was disguised as an interview for Vaquer, but Nikki would jump her. It was a very good setup. I appreciate that. Nikki Bella keeps calling her Mamacita. It was very funny. And, this promo, this segment, it actually changed my mind on the heel run, on the heel turn specifically, because this works for me. I was a little standoffish on the Nikki Bella stuff, but man, her mic work as a heel is really good. Really good. Also, the Kabuki Warriors, they're trying to recruit Bayley, and it was a very weird interaction, but it made me laugh, so I'm down with it. And then we get Solo Sikoa versus a mystery opponent, who we would learn to be a returning Dolph Ziggler. Holy crap. I'm not trying to get demonetized. I'm not trying to get my channel off the radar before we even get to that point. But look, Dolph Ziggler. Dude, I popped so loud. And it's just me in my it's just me in my room with my girl. And I am going, oh my God, it's Dolph Ziggler. Can you believe it? And wow, man. I couldn't believe it, Dolph Ziggler. It made me so happy. It brought me back to my childhood, much like seeing that Zack Ryder clip. But Dolph Ziggler, it hits even different, bro, because he was that guy. He was up there for real. And now, of course, he's doing his work as Nick Nemeth. And TNA was on a hiatus for the last month. Until recently. I don't know why they took the title off Santana. That seemed a little silly to me, but Nick Nemeth has been doing great work in TNA. But something about seeing him in WWE, it just felt more special, It felt like I haven't seen him in years. Which couldn't be further from the truth, but it gave me that feeling, right? So yeah, it was a huge moment. The New York crowd is in love with Ziggler. This Raw has just been hitting front to back. I'm loving it. Thank you, WWE. And one thing I will say, complete side note, Tala Tonga, he looks hilarious, man. I don't know what it is, that Samoan face paint thing they got going on, the tribalism, it just looks silly, man. But yeah. So, let's talk about the match a little bit. Honestly, the first half of it, I was pretty much just in a daze, just a fever dream. I'm like, holy crap, Dolph Ziggler in the WWE again. And yeah, dude, the crowd loves him. There's a huge, when Solo kicks out for the first time. It was so loud. And they even had Solo kick out of the zigzag, which at that moment I was like, wait, are they going to send Dolph on? Hold on, I need to blow my... Excuse me, I need to blow my nose. Christ. Okay. Like always, one take. We go through this. Also, I guess right now I'll address this. We had the longest break of content since I started making YouTube. It was only about 3 or 4 days, but it was definitely the longest amount of time. I wasn't even pumping out shorts either. But the reason for that being I got sick again, which you could probably hear it in my voice right now, but I was too sick to record over the weekend, so Friday's video came out, kind of went radio silence, and even Monday I wasn't feeling up to it. So recording this right now, Tuesday morning. This video is going to come out Tuesday. Some of the videos I had planned for the weekend are going to come out this week. You know, I was meaning to get a huge streak going, recording every day, but, you know, life happens, and this is not what I do for a living. You know, I have, 70 subscribers, but I'm thankful I do this purely out of passion. So, yeah, that's why I was unable to record for a little bit. But let's just get back to today's episode. Yeah, Solo kicks out of the zigzag. Another huge pop of, like we all wanted to see Ziggler win. I'm still popping on my couch for every moment. Solo, eventually, he gets a huge Samoan spike to win the match. And like Zack Ryder, DOLPH would be a first-round exit, and I completely understand. I'm just thankful that the moment happened. And anybody who complains about Dolph Ziggler losing the match, check yourself, man. Can you just be happy that we got to see him? He's not even signed with the goddamn company. For real, man. Be thankful. Christ. Next, we get an Alexa Bliss promo. She gets real close to the camera. She's like, come here. Zooms in. Deep cuts on Charlotte. Bliss is spitting here. I was there for you. Why are you not there for me? And the heel War Games team, they come out. Asuka's on the mic to interrupt. Then Nia Jax talks a little bit. And before Alexa would get jumped, Io and Rhea come out. They help her out. But the heels are in control. And I kind of figured this was going to happen exactly how it happened when I saw only two of them come out. I'm like, okay, the heels are going to win, and then Charlotte's going to come out. And that's exactly what happens. But Charlotte actually comes out with a kendo stick, and she beats them all up with a stick. It was great. So, was not expecting that. I thought that was really fun. You know, the team we expected joined forces, but it works here. I'm glad they made it in a way that acknowledged the past, but still got us to where we needed to get to. And we also get a little fun glimpse of a John Cena interview, which is going to drop, I believe they said, the week he retires. So yeah, I'll keep my eye open for that. But then we have Becky Lynch versus Maxine Dupree. The Intercontinental Championship belt is on the line here. And, wow. I almost forgot about this before I started recording, but just reading that, Becky Lynch versus Maxine Dupree, I'm like, whoa, this was a moment, because, you know, Becky's heel work, it's been the best thing on Raw consistently. Also, another side note, Becky's new theme song is awesome. Shout out to the Wonder Years, great pop punk band. I've loved them for a long time, so it's cool to see them working in another, I guess, faucet in my life. You know, to see one thing you like come together with another thing you like, just out of the blue. I'm here for it, man. But yeah, and although Maxine has improved, the match, it does start off a little bit sloppy. Something about the flow or the pacing of it. There's just some stuff that looked awkward, like when she tries going for that leg drop. but it's all right. By the time we get to mid-match, Becky is pretty much beefing with the ref. Becky tries to undo the turnbuckle, and AJ Lee comes out. Wow. And this was a big surprise. The distraction would give Maxine the chance to win the match. And yes, Maxine is our new Women's Intercontinental Champion. What a shock. Honestly. I did not see this coming. I thought for sure Becky would retain against Maxine. I pretty much thought this was like a filler feud until AJ Lee would take the belt off her. But I guess this means AJ Lee might not be around long enough to take the belt. Maybe we just had that feud with Rollins and Becky, with her and Punk, and then we're just going to get the spin-off feud with her and Becky. You know, because that's what it's really led to. And maybe we just do that program and AJ Lee retires again. That might be what happens. I wouldn't be mad about it. I'm glad AJ Lee decided to come back and do all the things she's doing. But yeah, man. This is shocking. I'm very happy for Maxine Dupri. I think this is a good example of how you could take the belt off of Becky without her losing any of her stock as a villain. Yeah, I mean, Maxine beat her twice through odd means, a disqualification and a countout. But this is a more defined victory, even with the distraction. We could see more mid-card talent challenge for the title now, and it's kind of a unique position. It kind of reminds me of when Jey Uso had the World Heavyweight Champion, where it felt like he was beatable. So it's like anybody who really challenged him for the belt, it's like, wait, he could probably lose it at any time. That's how I feel about Maxine Dupri. I want to see an Ivy Nile feud. I want to see... Who else do we got in the mid-card? I don't know. Just use this as an opportunity to get Ivy Nile back on television. Thank you. And yeah, great match. And then we would get to technically our main event match, which was Javon Evans versus Gunther. It is great to see Gunther back, and Javon has always been a pleasure on NXT, and it's good to see him in a big exposure position on main roster, especially in a tournament like this. And goddamn, Javon is moving like crazy. He hits a wicked spin kick off the ropes. Javon also takes a huge bump, getting slammed against the apron on the outside. Gunther looks just like an animal, man. Hasn't missed a beat. Blowing my nose again. Hold on. It's for the better. Okay, so for the first time, I actually decided to clip the podcast because I just blew my nose for like 2 minutes straight. I'm not going to upload that on YouTube. But yeah, back to the match. You know, the second it cuts back to commercial break, we're in high gear. It's really just an excellent match with a strong ending too. Gunther, he goes on to the second round after a huge headlock. You know, they're really drilling that in. Gunther just making you either tap out or pass out. No other way around it. And after this, we would get a hint at AJ Lee joining the face team at War Games. She bumps into Rhea Ripley backstage. But yeah, man, this match, I'm really not doing it justice. I don't have much notes taken on it. But I'd say if you didn't catch this episode of Monday Night Raw, go back and watch this match. Watch the highlights on the YouTube channel at WWE. Whatever. Just make sure you catch this because Javon Evans, we're going to look at him right now. And, dude, if WWE fumbles Javon Evans, something is wrong, man. Because this guy, he is insanely talented. He is so versatile. The way he moves is absolutely insane. He's special. He's a special athlete right now. Hold on to him. But even though that would be the main event, which I think, yes, you want Gunther to move on, we would get one last segment of the show, the Vision. They're cutting a promo. Paul Heyman's yapping until Punk comes out to interrupt. And in fact, the whole face team would come out. and here's just a side note. I was like, God damn, all these entrances they're taking a while. We could speed this up a little bit. But yeah, the teams they just throw down on the spot. They were kind of advertising it as a face-off, like they were gonna talk. I wouldn't have believed that in the first place. That just doesn't make sense given the plot. But yeah, they're throwing down. Brock Lesnar comes out. And I was actually happy to see this because this is what Brock should be doing. And yeah, man, Brock puts down Punk and Cody. It was a big return. We haven't seen him since that WrestlePalooza disaster. But I don't really blame Brock as much as I blame the booking of Brock. Because, I mean, he's a good wrestler, man. He's strong. He could throw you around like crazy. You know, I won't take that away from him. Extremely dominant athlete. He's insane, bro. He's a fucking brick house. Excuse my language. But yeah, man. And after this, you kind of get the end credits of the episode, and then Roman Reigns comes out, which, if there's anybody who could swing with Brock Lesnar, it's Roman Reigns right now, in kayfabe at least. Because, you know, Roman Reigns, him and Brock, they did all those WrestleManias, and Roman is the one to finally put down the monster, which would make him the new monster for the next 4 years, right? Or 3 years, however long his title reign was. We get a huge stare down with these two until a big Superman punch takes Lesnar out of the ring, and then he's escorted away. But everybody just breaks into like a crazy brawl at the end. Bronson Reed still wants the smoke with Roman. The NYPD come out. It was a big fun ending. It was great. It was great. Even though the segment wasn't perfect, it was fun. I will give it that. Absolutely. So all in all, this is a very, very, very strong episode of Monday Night Raw. Even though not everything was perfect, I think the War Game stuff isn't exactly exciting to me. I think at least the women's end of it it's starting to get better, mostly because of the way they've handled Charlotte Flair. As for the men's, I think Brock Lesnar is huge. I think this could be the catalyst for the heels actually winning at War Games, which I need to see. The Vision needs it. Give it to them. Also, I just want to touch on if my voice this episode sounded a little off. Still under the weather. My throat was burning all weekend. I can barely breathe out of my nose. Sinuses have been going crazy. If you live in New York, you know damn well how cold it got out of nowhere, man. It was snowing last week. Like, when does it ever snow in November? That's insane. But yeah, man, that's all we got for today's episode. Next episode, expect Grammy nominations. We're going to look at the Grammy nods. It popped up on my feed that they were announced, so I haven't looked at anything. I'm going to do a live reaction and give my picks on who I think should win the Grammys. You know, we'll do that. It'll be fun. But yeah, thank you for watching, and stay tuned, like, subscribe, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.